the easy one.
Okay.
Perfect.
Everybody ready?
Yep.
Set? Okay. I'd like to call the town board meeting of February 14th, 2023 to order. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence to remember those who serve our country in the past and for those who continue to protect our country today. Thank you. Please note the emergency exits are the door you came in and the door behind me and the door at the end of the hallway. Okay. At this time, we've got 3 public hearings, so we're going to get started. At this time, I make a motion to open the public hearing on local law number 1 of 2023 concerning property tax exemption for volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers at 7, what time do you have?
02.
7:02.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Ezio, would you please read the
Of
law?
course. Okay, local law number 1 of 2023. A local law entitled Local Law Number 1 of the year 2023, amending Chapter 135 of the Code of the Town of Beekman, enacting a property tax exemption for volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers pursuant to Section 466A of the Real Property Tax Law. Be it enacted by the Town Board of the Town of Beekman as follows. Section 1. This local law shall be known as and cited as Local Law Number 1 of the year 2023. Amending Chapter 135 of the Code of the Town of Beekman, enacting a property tax exemption for volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers pursuant to Section 466A of the Real Property Tax Law. Section 2, Purpose. The purpose of this local law is to amend Chapter 135 by adding a new Article 6, enacting a property tax exemption for volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers. Section 3, Amendment to Chapter 135. A new Article 6 of Chapter 135 of the Code of the Town of Beekman entitled Volunteer Firefighters and Ambulance Workers Exemption is hereby added and enacted pursuant to Real Property Tax Law Section 466A to read as follows. Article 6, Volunteer Firefighters and Ambulance Workers Exemptions. Section 135-8, Grant of Exception. An exemption of 10% of the assessed value of property owned by an active enrolled member who has satisfied their required LoSAP points, that is, length of service award points, for the year as set forth below, or such enrolled member and their spouse is hereby granted from taxation with respect to the real property codes taxes of the Town of Beekman as long as eligibility requirements are met. And all the other sections outline what the requirements are for this exemption.
Thank you, Ezio. Lorene, has this resolution and affidavit of publication of the official notice, has that been entered into record?
Yes, it has.
Okay. And do we have any written comments? Did you get any?
I haven't gotten any written comments.
No written comments, okay. And I believe, Leonard, is this the local law you wanted to speak to? Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, did you say you want to talk about all of them, or this one?
About
This one?
the
The seniors?
no, the
Firemen, okay, this is it.
You're still on that, right?
Yes.
Yep.
For the record, my name is Leonard Jerem. I live on 112 Bayer Drive. I raised in support of this proposed local law. I had a long talk with, well, not only had a long talk with Ezio, but I had talked with some of the people who work in the fire department. It's a job that if we don't get enough volunteers to become firemen or help with the fire department, then we will probably be like every other town. We are going to have to pay firemen. And that's going to cost a lot of money to the taxpayers, more than that 10% that a person might save. I was a little concerned about it only because of the fact that they had to, even though I had joined the fire department, I hadn't passed the tests, do all those crazy tests that they make them go through. And I noticed that you have to have points in order to qualify for the exemption, which is fine. That means they have to participate. So it's not like it's a free ride. Like you just show up and you come to a meeting and that's it. But I think it's very important. I know the church I go to, they always pray for the firemen, EMS people, because they put their lives on the line for us. I can sit in my house and tease my wife, well, I could jump into my clothes and run down to the firehouse, but you know, by the time I get there, they'll probably have a number of people there. However, if everything keeps going the way it's going, we're going to need more volunteers. And the way to get them is make sure that we throw them a bone anyway of that 10%. I would then also suggest to the town, since we're not the only town who has that problem with volunteer fire department, that maybe the town should send something to the state, even though you're going to send the approval to say that it was approved for the town, that the state should get involved and encourage all the towns who need volunteers for the fire department, so that it's not just us. We know East Fishkill is always looking for it, and I think the Grange, I think, is also looking for it. So it's not something that's going to happen overnight, but if we start losing all the people who fight fires, I just want to make sure that we have somebody to fight a fire, at least in this town. And that's why I say I'm in support of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonard.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't believe anybody else has any public comments, so I make a motion to close the public hearing at
7:07.
7:07.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, I make a motion to open the public hearing on local law number 2 of 2023 concerning maximum income eligibility limits for senior citizens tax exemption at
7:07.
7:07.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Lorraine, has the resolution and affidavit of publication of the official notice been entered into record?
Yes, it has.
Thank you. Have you received any written comments?
I have not.
Okay. Let's see, who's reading?
I got 3.
You got that? Oh, you got 3.
I have
Okay,
2.
you have 2, please.
Sure. Local law number 2 of 2023, a local law to amend Town of Beekman Code, Section 135, Article 3, senior citizen exemption pursuant to Section 467 of the real property tax law. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Beekman hereby establishes the maximum income eligibility limits for the partial real property tax exemption applicable to otherwise qualified taxpayers over the age of 65. Regarding assessments rolled prepared on the basis of the taxable status date occurring on or after January 1st, 2023, and until the state modifies such limits as follows. I'm going to say the annual income range first, and then the exemption percentage. $50,000 or less a year is going to be a 50% exemption. $50,000 to $50,001 to $51,000 is a 45% exemption. $51,001 to $52,000 is a 40% exemption. $52,001 to $53,000 is a 35% exemption. $53,001 to $53,900 is a 30% exemption. $53,901 to $54,800 is a 25% exemption. $54,801 to $55,700 is a 20% exemption. $55,701 to $56,600 is a 15% exemption. $56,601 to $57,500 is a 10% exemption. $57,501 to $58,400 is a 5% exemption, and anybody that makes more than $58,401 is not eligible. And be it further resolved that the board hereby provides that any individual otherwise qualified pursuant to the provisions of Section 467 of the real property tax law shall be entitled to such real property tax exemption if they become 65 years of age after the appropriate taxable status date and before December 31st of the same year.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have anybody who'd like to make a public comment? Come right up.
Julian Rancourt, Beekman Road. My question is, when you gotta file your paper, the assessor's gotta approve that, right?
It has to be filed by March 1st.
Yeah, but.
He's got to go over it. There are
Yeah,
forms
but-
that you have to fill out and you can
Did
get.
he work only 1 day a week?
Yes, but
Yeah.
Amy's here 4 days, so you can come in and see Amy and get your forms filled out,
Yeah,
and she'll
because-
help you with them.
Yeah, I got a problem to get my income tax from last year, so I might be,
Oh, okay. You have to have your forms.
yeah, but.
So come and see Amy
So if I
tomorrow.
came to the town hall, he's gonna be there, like.
He'll be there tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
or you can come and see Amy.
Yeah, I get the paper. All right.
And you
Okay?
know you need your 2021, right?
Yeah, he said he
Yeah.
doesn't have it yet.
Well,
Okay.
that's my problem.
Well, 2021, not 2022. Do you
No,
have
no,
20?
yeah, from last year.
Oh, okay,
Because my paper came away with my
Okay.
wife.
okay.
I don't know where they are.
Well, come and talk to them tomorrow, Julian, okay?
I'll go harass.
They'll be happy to help you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, I make a motion to close the public hearing
712.
7:12, thank you. And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'm going to hold off just a little bit for the public hearing because that one's supposed to start at 7:20 and we're a little bit ahead of the time. What time is it?
712.
7:12. Okay, so I'll do some other business while we're waiting. I'll go through my supervisor comments on the agendas. So the first two are our town board minutes. Resolution number 3 is accepting the resignation of the Honorable Judge John Garrido. We're deeply saddened to accept the resignation of Judge John Garrido. This town has had the great fortune of having a man of great integrity to sit on the bench for 48 years. He always looked to help people in difficult situations. He was one who took the extra time to find a good solution for all parties involved. He served the town and the residents with a heart filled with love and devotion to duty to all who came before him. We wish him and his family all the best, and he will be truly missed in our courtroom. Number 4 is accept a donation of file cabinets. Number 5 is our senior bus trips, and we're hoping that this is going to be the first year after COVID that they're going to be able to make all of them, which will be exciting. And the first event that they're going to have at the rec is going to be the St. Joseph's and St. Patrick's Day Harvest Day Party, which is going to be $15 for residents and $20 for non-residents, and that's going to be March 20th. And then we have number 6 is the local law for the fire department and volunteer ambulance. Number 7 is one of our senior exemptions. Number 8 is the disabled persons exemption. Number 9 are our budget revisions. There's quite a number of them as the finance team is trying to close the books for 2022. Many pages. Okay. And then resolution number 10 is we're authorizing an IMA for agreement for the establishment of a joint ethics board between, at this point, 3 towns, which would be ourselves, East Fishkill, and the Village of Pauling. Sharon and I have been working on this for about 9 months. We've spearheaded trying to reach out to other towns to get an ethics board that really is above reproach. So we're hoping to have this up and running by mid-March. There are, as I said, there are 2 other towns who are actually looking to join us in this, but we have 3 and we decided to start. When they're ready, any other town will just amend the IMA and bring other towns into this ethics board. We spent a lot of time writing and rewriting because we wanted this IMA to have each town have significant input until we came up with a final agreement on moving forward with this IMA that we're all very comfortable with. A goal was to create a board that would fairly hear an ethics complaint that would be above reproach, in an above-board manner as much as possible. We're hoping to avoid having anyone claim that one way or another the process was flawed by outside interests. By having members from all different towns here and give their advisory opinion on the ethics violation, we hope that all will feel the process was accomplished in an open, honest, and transparent manner. Number 11 is updating our sexual harassment officers that we are mandated to have. Number 12 is a resolution approving additions and withdrawals to the town restricted fund balances for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. Again, this is an end-of-the-year housekeeping by the Finance Department. Number 13 is we're updating the usage and security policy. We've got new IT security managers, and we take our IT security very seriously, considering all of the issues that are out there with people trying to take over, especially towns and school districts and corporations. So we want to be as up-to-date as possible. We want our policy updated, and we want our social media policy updated for employees. And then we have the payment of claims. What time do we have now? And maybe we'll... 7:17. 7:17. Then I will go on to really good news for the town. So we received some very good news yesterday from Moody's, and I'm just going to read their press release. Moody's Investor Service has upgraded Beekman ratings from a AA3 to a AA2. The upgrade to the AA2 of Beekman's issuer rating reflects its strong and improving reserves and liquidity position, driven by years of conservative budgeting and strict financial oversight. The ratings also incorporates the town's stable and healthy local economy with below-average property wealth and strong resident income profile, and modest long-term liabilities and fixed costs. The financial position is likely to remain strong and stable in the near term, given conservative budget management and a sound fund balance policy. The town has maintained surplus operations over the last 5 years, leading to a strong available fund balance of $2.7 million across all government funds, a strong 44.6% of revenues in fiscal 2021. Fiscal 2022 will continue its positive operating trend, and management expects modest fund balance increase by the end of the year. Now, we had conversations with them in December, so they're referring to 2022. The tax levy has remained level over the last 3 years without drawdown of its available reserves. 2023 budget will continue its conservative budgeting practices, and management aims to maintain balanced operations. Additionally, the town was allocated approximately $1.5 million of ARPA funding, which will be used for infrastructure and capital improvements. The town adopted a formal fund balance policy to maintain unassigned fund balance at or above 20% of total expenditures. The total long-term liabilities as of fiscal 2021 is at 122% of total revenues, well below the state and national medians. Management anticipates to fund the majority of capital projects through designated capital reserve funds and ARPA funding, and keeps the financing level at a minimum. The town has issued short-term bans over the past 2 years for various capital improvement, and management expects the ban will be paid off in the near future given its robust reserve level. So that was the press release from Moody's. My comments are as follows. I want to let our residents know that this was a total team effort to achieve this upgrade. The town has the best staff in our finance department in all of Dutchess County, New York State, the United States of America. They are just fabulous. Tom, Linda, Annette, and Teresa have done an incredible job in 5 years transforming this department into a top-notch professional team who came in, rolled up their sleeves, got to work digging out of the deep financial hole they found. When Sharon and I came in 5 years ago, at this point. A couple of weeks after we're in that office answering our phone, I got a call from Moody's. And much to my amazement, they had pulled our ratings. They didn't just lower it, they pulled it because of past years of ignoring their financial responsibility, including doing independent audits and filing the mandated state reports, AUDs and such, that needed to be done. So it took us 3 years? Yeah, 3 years to clean up back audits and AUDs, clean up what, continue moving forward and provide the documentation necessary for Moody's to give us back a rating at the AA3. So when they called us up and said that they wanted to review us again, I was surprised and thrilled. And no promise that it was going to be upgraded, but we had a good conversation in December, and this was the outcome of it. So this staff in the financial department, they're on top of all the bank recs, the audits, the state reports, the day-to-day activities. It's truly been a group of people I'm incredibly proud to work alongside of every day. And since this is Valentine's Day, I want to proclaim them Beekman sweethearts. And I want to thank them for all their hard work and determination to turn this town's financial situation to the positive. And I want to thank them. This makes a big difference moving forward if the town, we're in good financial state now, but if they needed to do any funding and borrowing, it allows us at a much better rate, and it would benefit the taxpayers. They wouldn't have to be paying so much back, so that's a positive. And I'm assuming at this point we're past 7:20?
7:22.
Perfect. At this time, I make a motion to open the public hearing on local law number 3 concerning maximum income eligibility limits for persons with disabilities and tax exemptions at 7:23? 2.
Second.
2. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Laureen, have we, the resolution and affidavit of publication of the official notice, has it been entered into record?
Yes.
Do we have any written comments?
No.
Do we have anyone here who'd like to speak to it?
Do you want me to read this?
Oh, I forgot. Yes, would you like to read it?
Yep. Local law number 3 of 2023, a local law to amend Town of Beekman Code, Section 135, Article 3, disabled persons exemption pursuant to Town of Beekman Code, Section 459-C of the real property tax law. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Beekman hereby establishes the maximum income eligibility limits for the partial real property tax exemption applicable to otherwise qualified taxpayers with disabilities. Regarding assessment rolls prepared on the basis of the taxable status date occurring on or after January 1st, 2023, and until the state modifies such limits as follows. Annual income range and exemption percentage. $50,000 or less, 50% exemption. $50,001 to $51,000, 45% exemption. $51,001 to $52,000, 40% exemption. $52,001 to $53,000, 35% exemption. $53,001 to $53,900, 30% exemption. $53,901 to $54,800, 25% exemption. $54,801 to $55,700, 20% exemption. $55,701 to $56,600, 15% exemption. $56,601 to $57,500, 10% exemption. $57,501 to $58,400, 5% exemption. $58,401 or more, not eligible. And be it further resolved that the board hereby provides that any individual, otherwise qualified property owners with disabilities pursuant to the provisions of Section 459-C of the real property tax law shall be entitled to such real property tax exemption.
Thank you. Any public comments? Anyone here for public comments? Please join us.
Just a question,
Oh, come on over.
Should probably have
Just a quick question about the people who are applying for it because they're handicapped. Is that based on, like, let's say there were two people in the family, is it based on net income? Or is it based on the fact that they're receiving a, what do they call it, a handicap, like a, what do you call it, trying to think of the word.
SSI disability?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a certain
I'm
amount.
not sure exactly how much income in the combinations of income, because they've got forms. So if that was something that you needed, you could talk to Amy or the assessor tomorrow.
Well, okay, because I did pick up the forms, and Amy was very amicable. She tried to help as best she could. She did say she would need the tax forms from last year.
Right.
But as far as any handicap thing, my wife is pretty much handicapped because of her inability to be mobile, and I'm sure my friend out in the audience had the same problem with his wife, who's in rehab. But if it's a joint thing, based on your income from not only what I get as a pension and what she might get, in addition to her handicap and a pension, then it takes me over that threshold.
And I'm not sure, that's something that you'd have to check with the assessor, what the combination of incomes that they include.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay, so then, no other public comments. I make a motion to close the public hearing at
7:27.
7:27.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Like to start?
Sure.
I'm sorry, hold on one second.
Whereas Town Clerk Lorene Epitantuano has provided copies of the minutes of the January 24th, 2023 Town Board meeting to all members of the Beekman Town Board, and whereas Town Board members have had the opportunity to review said minutes, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board hereby accepts the minutes of the January 24th, 2023 Town Board meeting.
I will second that.
Okay, Town Board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Badalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limek?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman? Aye. Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas Town Clerk Maureen Epitantuano has provided copies of the minutes of the February 3rd, 2023 Special Town Board meeting to all members of the Town Board, and whereas Town Board members have had the opportunity to review said minutes, now therefore be resolved that the Town Board hereby accepts the minutes of the February 3rd, 2023 Special Town Board meeting.
I'll second.
Town Board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Stiegler?
Abstain?
Councilman Badalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limek?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Accepting the resignation of the Honorable John Garrido. Whereas John Garrido has submitted his resignation as Town Justice to the Town of Beekman effective February 2nd, 2023, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board accepts the resignation of John Garrido and would like to thank him for his 48 years of dedicated public service. He was a dedicated public servant and a man of honor to the town.
I'll second.
Town Board discussion?
We wish John and his family all the best. It's been a good, long run.
Absolutely.
I concur.
Okay, roll call vote.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Badalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limek?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman? Aye. Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 214-23-4, accept donations of filing cabinets. Whereas the Assessor's Office has received 4 filing cabinets from the Dutchess County storeroom, and whereas Town Board resolutions are required to accept all donations, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board does hereby accept this donation and is doing so. Does express its gratitude to Dutchess County, and be it further resolved that the record of this donation will be forwarded to the Town Clerk for her record of donations.
I'll second.
Town Board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Badalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limek?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman? Aye. Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the 2023 budget includes funding for the cost of a variety of bus trips/events for the Senior Citizens Program, and whereas deposits are required for tours, shows, and meals to guarantee the reservations, which deposits are reimbursed to the town through ticket sales. Now therefore be it resolved that payments for the charter of a bus for the following trips and/or entertainment is hereby authorized. March 20th, St. Joseph's and St. Patrick's Day. Harvest Duo with entertainment for $275. Seniors would pay $15. Non-resident seniors, $20. April 13th, Riverview Inn Comedian, Matamoros, Pennsylvania. Bus cost $1,450 using coach. $54 residents, $69 non-residents, $64 grandfathered seniors. The date is to be determined. It's a lighthouse tour with a lunch from Mystic, Connecticut. The bus cost will be $1,790, and that'll be with coach. It'll be $39 for resident seniors, $54 for non-resident seniors, and $49 for grandfathered seniors. June 8th, Goodspeed Opera House Gypsy at East Haddam, Connecticut. Bus cost is $1,590, and JTR Bus Company. $98 resident seniors, $113 non-resident seniors, and $108 grandfathered. July 20th, Summer Barbecue, John Hanna Entertainment, $395, $10 resident seniors, $12 non-residents. August 17th, Ace in the Hole, Denver/Campbell, I guess that's the entertainment, in Patterson, New Jersey. The bus cost is $1,450, and that'll be coach bus lines. $72 for resident seniors, $87 for non-resident seniors, $82 for grandfathered seniors. September 14th, Silver Birches Italian Fest in Holly, Pennsylvania. Bus cost $1,490 for coach bus line. $49 for resident seniors, $64 for non-resident seniors, $59 for grandfathered seniors. September 28th is the annual senior picnic, John Hanna Entertainment for $395. It's free to resident seniors, and non-residents will pay $10. October 2nd, Villa Roma Oktoberfest in Calico, New York. Bus costs $1,350, and that'll be the coach bus line. $60 resident senior, $75 non-resident senior, $70 grandfathered senior. November 16th, they're going to do a Friendsgiving, $12 for a resident senior, $14 for non-resident senior. Entertainment to be determined. December, they're going to do a Christmas party, and that'll be to be determined, and the price and everything is to be determined.
I'll second that.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Badalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Maureen, the second trip was changed to Matamoros, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Okay. Thank you.
Who's up at bat? I lost my place. Adoption of local law number 1 of 2023, a local law to amend Chapter 135 of the Town Code concerning property tax exemption for volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers. Whereas a proposed local law, known as local law number 1 of 2023, entitled A Local Law to Amend Town of Beekman Code, Section 135 of the Town Code concerning property tax exemption for the volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers, was introduced before this board on January 24th, 2023. And whereas the town board members have had the opportunity to review the proposed local law, and it has sat on their desk for the town board for the required period of time. And whereas a public hearing was held on the 14th day of February 2023 at 7 p.m. at Beekman Town Hall, 4 Main Street, Pequake, in the town of Beekman, New York, with proper notice having been given therefore, and whereas at the public hearing, the town board members considered any public comments received during the public hearing, as well as any written comments received. Now therefore be it enacted, the town board hereby adopts local law number 1 of 2023 entitled "A Local Law to Amend Section 135 of the Code of the Town of Beekman, enacting a property tax exemption for the volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers pursuant to Section 466-A of the Real Property Tax Law. And be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to the forthwith a copy of the local law number 1 with the New York State Secretary of State."
Second, anyone?
Second.
Thank you. Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Being a volunteer firefighter, I have to abstain.
Councilman Lemak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
I'm going to have to abstain also.
And Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Oh, resolution number 7, adoption of Town of Beekman Local Law number 2 of 2023, entitled "A Local Law to Amend Town of Beekman Code, Section 135, Article 3, Senior Citizen Exemption." Whereas a proposed local law known as Local Law number 2 of 2023, entitled "A Local Law to Amend Town of Beekman Code, Section 135, Article 3, Senior Citizen Exemption pursuant to Section 467 of the Real Property Tax Law," was introduced before this board on February 3rd, 2023, and whereas the town board members had the opportunity to review the proposed local law, and it sat on the desks of the town board for the required period of time, and whereas a public hearing was held on the 14th day of February 2023 at 7:10 p.m. at Beekman Town Hall, 4 Main Street, Poquay, in the town of Beekman, New York, with proper notice having been given therefore, and whereas this public hearing, the town board members considered any public comments received during the public hearing as well as any written comments received. Now therefore be enacted, the town board hereby adopts local law number 2 of 2023 entitled "A Local Law to Amend Town of Beekman Code, Section 135, Article 3, Senior Citizen Exemption pursuant to Section 467 of Real Property Tax Law," and be further resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to file forthwith a copy of this local law 2 with the New York State Secretary of State.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Lemak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas a proposed local law known as Local Law Number 3 of 2023, entitled "A Local Law to Amend Town of Beekman Code, Section 135, Article 3, Disabled Persons Exemption pursuant to Section 467 of the Real Property Tax Law," was introduced before this board on February 3rd, 2023. And whereas the town board members had the opportunity to review the proposed local law, and it has sat on the desks of the town board for the required period of time, and whereas the public hearing was held on the 14th day of February 2023 at 7:20 p.m. at Beekman Town Hall, 4 Main Street, Poquay, in the town of Beekman, New York, with proper notice having been given therefore. And whereas at this public hearing, the town board members considered any public comments received during the public hearing as well as any written comments received. Now therefore be it enacted, the town board hereby adopts local law number 3 of 2023 entitled "A Local Law to Amend Town of Beekman Code, Section 135, Article 3, Disabled Persons Exemption pursuant to Section 467 of the Real Property Tax Law." And be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to file forthwith a copy of this local law number 3 with the New York State Secretary of State.
Second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Lemak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 214-23-9, approve Town of Beekman budget revisions, 2022-12. Whereas the Town of Beekman's accounting office recommends certain budget revisions based on departments' requests and/or the accounting office review and analysis of expenditures or revenues. Now therefore be it resolved that the following itemized revisions are approved by the Town of Beekman Town Board, identified as budget revision number 2022-12 as follows.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Lemak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the supervisor and town board expect the highest ethical standards for members of various boards, the town employees, and all elected officials, and whereas the supervisor and deputy supervisor has helped to spearhead the formation of a joint ethics board with neighboring municipalities so that an objective hearing can be held on ethical questions for the residents in different communities in the Southern Dutchess region. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign an intermunicipal agreement, IMA, with the towns of Beekman, East Fishkill, and the Village of Pauling.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Seeler.
Aye.
Councilman Bellini.
Aye.
Councilman Lemek.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Update sexual harassment officers. Whereas pursuant to Section 296 of the New York State Executive Law of the Town of Beekman, adopted the Town of Beekman Policy Statement and Procedure Against Sexual Harassment by Resolution Number 10-24-18-11-243. And whereas due to staff changes, the town board is desirous to update the officers. Now therefore be it resolved that the town's sexual harassment officers are designated as Linda Bloomer, Danny Plastini, Teresa Manzo, Colleen Hayes, alternate.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Seeler.
Aye.
Councilman Bellini.
Aye.
Councilman Lemek.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
And Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Okay, resolution number 12, approving the additions and withdrawals to the town restricted fund balances for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. Whereas the town of Beekman annually approves additions and withdrawals to the established government funds restricted and assigned reserve funds, and whereas the town desires to finalize the annual additions and withdrawals to these funds for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman hereby approves the following maximum additions and withdrawals to the government fund restricted and assigned fund balances for the fiscal year December 31st, 2022 as follows.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Point of order. I took something off the list for that because the correction is not on that.
It's on our,
It's
it's
on
on what
ours.
we read.
Yeah,
She'll get the
Thank you.
Word document tomorrow where the correction is, and then it'll be correct on the minutes.
Our written one has the correct, the 2774, is that what you're referring to?
The
27,
that was on the website.
2774.
Right, the ending balance on the
2784.
A reserve for debt service is 2774, and that's reflected in what we're going to be voting on.
I just handed it to the town clerk.
And tomorrow, she'll get the corrected version on the
you.
Word document, which will be put up and be entered into the formal minutes.
You're voting on what I see, right?
No,
No,
we're voting on
no,
what we
this.
have. We have the corrected copies.
It was corrected earlier
We
this
have the
afternoon.
corrected copies. Okay, did I get a second?
Werner, second.
Okay, town board discussion, hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Seeler.
Aye.
Councilman Bellini.
Aye.
Councilman, oh, I'm sorry, there's an error on that too. Councilman Lemek.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
And Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman does hereby appoint logically as the town's information technology manager for the 2023 fiscal year. And be it further resolved that the town adopts the attached information system usage and security policy in form and substance as attached hereto as the IT policy for the town of Beekman. And be it further resolved that the supervisor shall cause a copy of this policy to be distributed to all town employees.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Seeler.
Aye.
Councilman Bellini.
Aye.
Councilman Lemek.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
And Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Resolution number 14, payment of claims. Whereas the bookkeeper has audited and approved claims pursuant in Section 119 of Town Law as set forth in the attached abstracts, be it resolved that the payment therefore is hereby authorized as follows. Claims to be paid from the A General Fund, $176,538.79. Claims to be paid from the DA Highway Fund, $80,711.53. Claims to be paid from the SS Dover Ridge Sewer, $3,577.86. Claims to be paid from the SW Dover Ridge Water, $1,229.06. Claims to be paid from the T-Trust and Agency Fund, $85,630.91. Claims to be paid from the H Capital Fund, $1,674.50, giving us a total of $349,362.65. 2023 payroll number 3, the general fund is going to be $33,469.84. The highway fund is going to be $23,719.57, giving us a total of $57,189.41.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Badalini?
Aye.
Councilman Lemak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Thank you. Anybody else with town board business?
I have a letter here that I received from Director Danny in regards to the recreation report for February 14th, 2023. Camper registration opens February 1st, 2023. As of today, we have 45 campers registered. We've hired 12 returning camp counselors and are interviewing 5 new staff members. We have 2 returning and 1 new lifeguard. We need many more lifeguards and water support instructors. We will possibly be having a lifeguard WSI class here in Beekman and are working out details on it. Senior Queens of Heart Party was a success yesterday, and we had 45 participants. Trip and future parties list will be out soon. Next party is St. Patrick's Day, or St. Patrick and Joseph celebration, Monday, March 20th, 2023. Details will be coming soon. There will be an egg hunt on Saturday, April 1st at the Beekman Recreation Center.
Thank you.
No problem.
And I thank Danny for adding St. Patrick to St. Joseph's Day celebrations, March 20th. I tremendously appreciate it from my ancestors, and since I do have a home in Ireland, I do appreciate when St. Patrick is recognized here on March 17th. So with that, anybody else have anything?
I have.
No, go right ahead.
This is from the County Office for the Aging. The Dutchess County Office for the Aging has begun a pilot Friendly Calls program to alleviate the feelings of loneliness and isolation some seniors feel. Friendly Calls connects these older adults with volunteers who call them weekly, speaking for 20 or 30 minutes and providing all important social interaction, helping OFA achieve its mission of helping older adults remain active, age with dignity, and live independently as long as possible. The county program has already trained 24 volunteers. Nearly 40 local seniors have registered to be part of the program. Friendly Calls volunteers report to an OFA project manager designated to oversee the operation of the program. To qualify for the program, prospective volunteers must be at least 18 years old, an active listener, a good conversationalist, and able to speak clearly and slowly if needed, and interested in meeting a new friend and open to hearing new ideas. Residents interested in volunteering for the Friendly Calls program can contact the Office of Aging at 845-486-2555 to learn more about the program.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Actually, I do have something.
Oh, great.
So I live over on Gold Road, and one of my daughters lives on Depot Hill Road. And today was the second time that the rail trail, there was a bicyclist traveling on a rail trail, never slowed down, never looked. It was a good thing I stopped. And please be careful out there, because they're supposed to dismount and walk across the road to the other side. They're not doing it. So, everyone be careful, because I feel an accident's going to happen.
The Lake Walton Road is incredibly dangerous.
Yep,
It's
over
just
there's
treacherous.
The other
That
one
is,
is 216 as well.
yeah,
Yep.
Because they don't stop, they just keep
Yeah,
going at
it's-
like 90.
yeah,
They don't slow down. They just fly right by.
yeah.
So
No, it
please
is
be aware of that.
dangerous. Thank you, Ezia.
You're welcome.
Okay, I make a motion to close to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
7:49.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Safe travels, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.